Hello all and welcome back to another Tales of Hyperia showcase. Today I want to show off the menu. I know this probably doesn't sound all that fancy, but I put upwards of 30 plus hours on this thing. GB Studio doesn't have a menu option for RPG style games, so I had to create this from scratch. Let's start off with the main menu itself. When players hit select, they're taken to the screen shown here. As soon as the player enters the menu, they're offered several choices. I'll go over each, but first I'd like to point out what's going on over to the left. As you can see, the player sprites are shown underneath the characters' names. This would normally be where the HP or MP would go, but because of the Game Boy's limitations, I couldn't show those numbers here. So, players will be treated to a variety of sprites to denote the player's health and status ailments. If you see these guys dancing, then you'll know they have more than half their life. Otherwise, it'll look like they're walking in place. If a character is downed, then they'll appear to be knocked out on the screen. If a character is poisoned, you'll see a skull. And if a character is overcome by fear, you'll see these little lightning bolts. Before moving on to the menu options, I'd also like to point out the gold counter on top of the screen here. This will increase every time players earn gold from enemies. The max gold players will be able to receive is 999. With that out of the way, let's talk about the menu options, starting with items. Selecting items takes players to this screen here. As you can see, players have 6 options. I already described what each of these items do in the last video, so I won't go over that again. The first item is the potion. The second item is the mana potion. The third is the antidote. The fourth is the smelling salts. The fifth is the revival kit, and the sixth is the life potion. These sprites will always show up once players find them. It's up to you to manage your stock by regularly checking on how many items you have. Next up is the key items menu. I won't show off all these items since they may spoil some things for later in the game, but this is where all the key items that the players find will appear. Players can also get a description of the item by pressing A on a specific item. The next screen is the Magic and Skills menu. Let's start with the Magic menu. Selecting either skill or magic will take players to another screen that details each, spell or skill. Since magic only applies to Ben and Elliot, we only see those two on this screen. Players will notice 2 things when entering this screen: icons and a text menu. The icons will appear when each boy learns more magic. Certain magic can be used outside of battle, others can't. In fact, most can't. Only Elliot's healing spells can be used outside of battle. Let's head over to the skills screen. As you can see, it has a pretty similar setup to the magic screen. I won't go over this in detail since it's the same, but I will say this: skills cannot be used outside of battle. But you can select the skills and the magic you can't use outside of battle, and you can get a brief description of what it is and what it does. Next up is the Equip menu. This is where most of my time was spent. Players have to navigate to the desired area and select the piece of equipment that they want to equip. The weapon will appear once you select it, signifying that it's equipped. If players are curious about what stats the piece of equipment improves, then they'll have to press A on the equipment. This is the same for the weapons, armor, helmets, and accessories for each character screen. Moving on to the next section, we have the Stats menu. Similar to the equipment screen, players will have to navigate to the different stats and select them. Each stat will refer to the character's strength and modifiers from their equipment. I wish I could have shown the numbers, but again, this will have to do due to the limitations of the Game Boy. The last option is the save option. I originally had it so that there was set save points, but like other Game Boy JRPGs, I wanted to give players the option to save anywhere. The set save points will still be around, but they will function differently from here on out. Instead of healing and saving, they'll just heal. And that's the menu system. I know menus aren't necessarily the most impressive thing to showcase, but, I think it's impressive, mostly since I made the entire thing from scratch. Either way though, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you also enjoyed getting another sneak peek at my upcoming game, Tales of Hyperia. Keep checking back for more updates, and, as always, thank you for watching.